Alright guys, so we are going to do a quick update on the jar that you saw on the last channel. So this is it. It's sitting at its new home. As you can see, we have a couple white clouds in there. We've got 3 white clouds and then a ton of ram's horn snails. Now there's some ghost shrimp in there as well. I've got about 3 in there and I don't know what they're doing. We have had 0 losses in this tank. I want to show you, it's been about a week to a week and a half since the last water change, and I do 50% on it maybe once a week. But this is what we're looking like. We have no basically nitrites or nitrates. Of course no nitrites. Our water is, we're sitting kind of hard. Yeah, we're very hard. And then our alkalinity is very low and our pH is actually low. We're getting acidic. Now, what we're running into in here is basically all that wood in such a small tank, and all the plants are sucking up and using basically all the minerals. Now the reason we're hard here and not soft is basically because I have a wonder shell in here. So the wonder shell is right there, and what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm going to be removing the wonder shell and adding crushed coral so that we don't become acidic anymore. The wonder shells do work good for that, but they're a short-term solution. You've got to constantly add them in there. So it's keeping the water hard, but I need more than just hardness. I need alkalinity and a pH to be stable, because every time I change this, we've got a pH of around 8 here in Texas and an alkalinity much higher. Every time I change it, it's basically going to be stressing their osmoregulation. So it's something that's basically going to be done now. Now this is a 2-gallon tank, probably with about 1.75 gallons to 1.5 due to all the decoration in there. And there's our little filter, again, right back here, just an up tube from a filter and an intake sponge, and it's basically just a little sponge filter. It stays filtered quite well, gets fed 2 to 3 times per day, just some pellet food. This is the Hikari mixed with some flake, but it's the Hikari micro pellets. Pretty simple stuff. Even got some fertilizer for the person as well. And then we've got Prime. It's 2 drops per gallon. So it's a fairly simple setup, and it works quite nicely. So for everyone that said only a betta could work in here, well, a betta would be a great inhabitant. There's quite a bit you can do in a small tank like this. Now your biggest problem in a small tank like this is what you put in here. Putting plants and putting wood can create problems for you. Your plants will use up a lot of those nutrients along with the fish, and your wood can make it acidic. So it's important to have fish for the habitat that work good in the habitat. And it's also important to still do water changes. If you're only topping off water, I run into this a lot with people. If you're only topping off water, basically you're just creating a very concentrated waste water within your aquarium. You have got to remove the harmful minerals, the harmful buildup. Even if there's no nitrates, you've got to remove the hormones that the fish are producing. There is waste building up in there. And that is a guarantee, and you've got to remove that. So weekly water changes are basically about to be scheduled on this. Still got to do a little bit more, make sure I balance it out. So wonder shell is going to be taken out, crushed coral is going to be put in, and we're going to do a 50% water change on this. And when I'm done with the water change, I'll do a little bit of feeding, I'll dose some fertilizer, and it's good to go. So for plants in here, we have got Java Fern Windalove. We have got Java Moss, that is a Ludwigia repens, and then we have got some Anubias Nana Petite, and as you can tell, all the plants are doing pretty good. I have not noticed a whole lot of growth in this Ludwigia, but it's got to compete with a whole lot of other plants. So, and then up top, we even have duckweed. So I really like the duckweed. I think it kind of shadows things out real nice. It creates a good cast over. And that Java Moss right there is just doing great. But if I could change anything on this, I probably wouldn't go with the wood unless I had a betta. Now they do like softer water, but the only thing is I don't want to constantly change the water parameters every time I do a water change. So I don't want to shift my pH massively every time I do a water change. So that's why I'm trying to stabilize it. Otherwise, I would just leave it be. But the thing is, water changes are necessary, and every time you do one, you're going to stress your fish out if you don't have a stable condition within your aquarium. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to top this out. Top this off. Gonna probably put some of this in the back, maybe around the sides on the bottom. It really doesn't matter. But then I'll probably check it periodically for a few weeks, and I've had this going for maybe a month to 2 months now. Basically just keeping an eye on it because it's a learning lesson for me. I've never kept a tank this small. It's doing quite well. I need to go in and get some of these snails out. But I mean, as you can see, this is a thriving mini ecosystem. So I think that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do my maintenance, and I think that's it. So everyone have a good one. I hope you think this is neat. Feel free to subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. I'd appreciate it. And expect more of this from me in the future. I actually have a few custom tank builds. I'm looking for glass right now at a decent price. I'm going to be building some nano tanks and be making some more of these for some more friends. So anyways, guys, have a good one.